Eid al-Azha in 2025 arrives not just as a date on the calendar but as a profound moment for millions around the world to reflect on sacrifice, faith, and love, three pillars that have always defined this sacred celebration yet are now reshaping how we experience it in an ever-changing world. Imagine the story of Prophet Ibrahim, peace be upon him, whose unparalleled obedience to Allah set the foundation for this festival, a story so deeply ingrained in our hearts that it echoes through every prayer, every act of charity, and every gesture of kindness during Eid al-Azha. The Quran tells us in Surah As-Safat 37:102-107 about the moment Ibrahim was tested to sacrifice his beloved son Ismail, a trial of faith that teaches us about surrendering our deepest attachments for the sake of Allah. This year, as we gather with families and communities, we are witnessing a beautiful transformation, one that goes beyond the traditional rituals of slaughter and feast, reaching into the realms of personal growth, spiritual renewal, and collective compassion. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, taught us that sacrifice is not limited to animals alone but includes sacrificing our own egos, selfishness, and complacency, and in 2025, more than ever, believers are embracing this holistic understanding. The essence of sacrifice is becoming a living practice, whether it's giving up comfort to help the needy, setting aside differences to strengthen community ties, or offering time and love to those who are lonely or suffering. This redefinition of Eid al-Azha brings us closer to the Prophet's timeless wisdom when he said, "The best of people are those who bring the most benefit to others," a call to action that echoes powerfully today in humanitarian efforts, charity drives, and acts of kindness flooding social media and neighborhoods alike. The faith that underpins this festival is also evolving as people engage more deeply with the Quran and Hadith, seeking to internalize the lessons of Ibrahim and Ismail in their daily lives. They reflect on the Quranic verse from Surah Al-Hajj 22:37, which reminds us that the meat and blood of the sacrificed animals do not reach Allah, but rather the piety and righteousness in our hearts, that true sacrifice is spiritual, rooted in sincerity and devotion. Love, the third pillar of this renewed celebration, shines through the eyes of those who share their sacrifice with family, friends, and especially the poor and marginalized. The Prophet, PBUH, divided the sacrifice into three parts precisely to nurture this love and care, a tradition that is gaining even greater meaning in 2025 as communities worldwide come together, crossing cultural and economic boundaries. Think about the stories you hear today, of neighbors sharing their Eid meat with refugees, of young people volunteering at shelters, of families inviting those alone to join their celebrations. These acts are not mere customs but powerful manifestations of the prophetic spirit that transforms Eid al-Azha into a festival of unity and compassion. How often do we pause to ask ourselves, what does sacrifice truly mean in my life today? How can I embody the faith of Ibrahim and the mercy of the Prophet Muhammad, PB, beyond this one day? These questions invite us to see Eid al-Azha not just as a moment but as a lifelong journey of growth, empathy, and devotion. As we embrace these values, the festival becomes more than a celebration. It becomes a beacon of hope and a model for living a life pleasing to Allah. So, as the sun rises on Eid al-Azha in 2025, let us remember that every act of sacrifice, whether big or small, is a step toward purifying our souls, strengthening our communities, and drawing nearer to Allah's mercy. May this year's Eid inspire us all to renew our faith, deepen our love, and make sacrifice the cornerstone of our lives, carrying forward the legacy of Prophet Ibrahim and the guidance of Prophet Muhammad, PBUH, with sincerity and joy.